You know what? We've got a quorum. Why don't I call the meeting to order and we can get started with the fun stuff. Shannon, thank you for circulating the excellent packet of information. I thought the minutes look great. Aaron, did you have any comments in the minutes, or would you like to make a motion to approve them?
I move to approve the minutes.
Okay, I second. All in favor, Aaron?
Aye.
John, aye. Okay, they are approved. Great. Next up, we've got ears in the community. It does feel like there is a lot of activity around the RFP, but Aaron, have you heard anything worth sharing?
Not beyond, I think, what we've heard in the past. It's been kind of similar. Folks are wondering what's going on, but
Yep.
nothing in particular.
Yeah. Well, I can report on the event we had on Wednesday for the Concord Business Partnership. I think we had something like 30 to 35 people in attendance. We did it here at the Wheelhouse, and Dan came, Mark, Elizabeth, Peter, Emily, and that was it. Scott Bates was there, but we did basically an updated version of the presentation, which is available on the town website now. But basically, it was essentially kind of the type of information we shared with the league, except we also provided some information about the RFP process, the goals, and kind of the deliverables for that. And then we're able to say that we had made a decision on a consultant, but it hadn't been announced yet. So didn't announce who the winning bidder was, but I'd say we got some good questions. And so one thing that I did that I think we should do going forward is I wrote down all the questions, and I think we should just like keep a running list of questions that people ask in public forums like that, so that we can over time see if there are other things that should get added to the website,
Yeah.
as far as you is concerned.
I realize now that you went through that you weren't at the DOT thing, right,
No,
John?
I will.
Okay, so yes, I went to the DOT meeting. It was largely good. Um, I think they're kind of just getting started, and we tried to impress that like we were well beyond started and moving quickly, and we're gonna help look for their input, and they agreed to have kind of regular communication with DCAM and us, but um, they're just starting reviving the drawings and designs that were done a couple decades ago, and thinking about the Rotary, and so.
Well, I heard a couple of comments after that
Mhm.
basically suggested that they did seem to have like some genuine energy,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
the governor has kind of said like we're going to start dealing with roads and bridges, and
Hmm.
this is becoming somewhat of a priority. So maybe there's a chance it will
Yeah, no,
move.
I mean, I think they're definitely like headed down like a new design, like a pathway for designing some solutions. Um, Whether or not they're agreed upon and funded is a whole other separate thing. But I think there was a lot of folks there that were sort of like, yes, we're doing this, and moving it forward,
Yeah,
into a like a new design phase was what I sensed.
yeah, that would be great. One of the suggestions that was made on Wednesday at the meeting was that it may be that we are actually going to move a lot faster than they move.
That became clear at the meeting, I think that.
That we may have to say to them, okay, we're going to assume there'll be kind of the ways to enter our parcel will be here and here, and
Right.
hope they can then design to that.
Yeah, I think there'll be definitely a phase before, if anything is done, before when the parcel may start to advance, and the traffic work and road work is not yet started or complete.
Right, right. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Mhm.
I wanted to go there, but then I ended up having a busy afternoon. I couldn't get away for it.
No worries.
But it sounded like it was a good meeting. Okay, so next on the agenda, we've got correspondent and community feedback. Shannon, is there any kind of pertinent correspondence that is worth discussing here?
Um, no, not right now. I think the last we got, which Dan mentioned at the last advisory board meeting, was we heard from a photographer who was also hoping to get into the facility, and Dan referred him to DOC at this time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it does seem to be kind of quiet in terms of
Yeah, it's
correspondence.
quiet right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Okay, on the correspondence front, this maybe is a little bit about engagement too, but as you know, I had heard from Tracy Davies, who's a social studies teacher at the high school, and she had her student had submitted a bunch of ideas, which I had circulated around those letters for things we might do. And I had asked her if she would like one of us to go in and speak to them about their ideas, and she would love that. And we were going to try to do it this week, and or it's supposed to be today, but she's sick actually today. So she had thrown out a number of other dates. And Aaron, I'm wondering, would you be interested in being the person who goes to talk to her class?
I could try. I have
No, I don't
kind of
want
a
to be.
busy schedule at the moment, so I don't want to overpromise that I can do it. But maybe if there's like a couple of us, and if things fall through at the last minute, we don't have to cancel. But
That's fine. So I will
yeah.
share the dates with Shannon that she suggested, and well, I'll tell you things. So let's see. She had thrown out 6 possible dates. I'll tell you the ones that would work for me. Let me just get my calendar open here 1 second. The dates were Wednesday, February 26th, or Friday, February 28th, both at 8 in the morning. March 3rd at 8 a.m., March 4th at 9 a.m., March 5th at 8 a.m., or March 7th at 8 a.m. I will
Okay.
just so why don't you just let me know if any of those work for you,
Okay.
and then confirm if they work for me.
They are mostly not great for me. Mostly because I've got some travel that week in March.
Totally
And
fine.
then
So
yeah, no worries.
I just want to be sure that I'm spreading around the opportunities to.
Yeah, I don't know if Emily may also be interested. And then I will say that I got a call from Mary Hartman asking if I wanted to go see the Maynard Crossing development.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that may be happening on the 26th.
Okay.
So and just meeting with some of the town staff. So I suggested that also other members of the land use group may want to come, but that may conflict with the potential date for the high school
Yeah,
visit.
I'm going to take off possibility for this one, and they're going to
Sorry.
be plenty of opportunity for outreach. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Discuss proposed enhancements to the MCI Concord webpage. This is kind of a standard. Donna's showing up. Perfect timing. Hey, Donna. Connecting.
She's still connecting, I think.
Okay. Anyhow, Donna, you there? Oh, let's go
I'm
ahead.
here.
Hi, Donna. Your
Hello.
timing is perfect. We were just about to start discussing the web page.
Okay.
And the relevant piece here, I think, is that as we've discussed, the web page has had a bunch of great improvements. Shannon updated it after the business partnership event on Wednesday, so the latest slides are up there, et cetera. But I wanted to spend some time today thinking about kind of how I want to be ready for when the consultants start. And my understanding is the consultants are going to attend the meeting on Monday, the advisory board meeting on Monday, which is great. But I think one of the first things, one of the themes that played throughout their presentation was the idea that this is not like a long project. This is a sprint, and that's the term they're using, a sprint. And one of the first things they want to do is work with us to get a web page put up, a website about the project, which is terrific. So I want to be sure we're ready for them. And I was trying to anticipate what they might ask us, such as like, well, what do you guys have in mind for the website? And so I put together a couple of I call them content pieces that are in the packet. Aaron, you should have seen them. So the first was I'm assuming that we're going to have an FAQ in the website. And so I just put together a bunch of potential questions and answers that I think will be interesting to the public, because again, if our mission is to make it possible for anyone in the public to find out, to get a current picture of what's going on, whatever time of day, whatever day of the week, then it would be great to have a really robust FAQ that answers a lot of the questions. And so I just threw a bunch of questions together, and we don't need to go through them all, but I wanted to basically say that if you have any further thoughts on it, let's just get them organized before our first meeting with the consultant. But I think this gives us something to start with in terms of FAQ content for the consultants. Does that make sense to you, Donna?
Yeah, and we do have some FAQ kind of content already up,
Right.
but there have been things obviously that have happened since then, and there might be things that you're thinking about that we hadn't thought of. So that's great.
So I think we can take what we have, add some more, and then that will give them plenty of content to work with. The other thing was I just began to think about what were some of the things we might want a website to do. And so the second piece that I had sent via Shannon was this website features document. So things like a calendar, FAQ, information about the members of the committee, a feedback form, maybe some kind of a photo or video gallery that would show stuff, pictures of, at this point, it's just like pictures of meetings. So like I took some pictures of meeting, making the decision on the consultants the other day.
Those pictures were so funny. They're really funny.
Yeah, Megan's all smiles like,
Yeah,
oh.
it's really funny.
So today we have pictures of meetings. Someday we'll have pictures of shovels and big machines and piles of rubble and who knows what else. So anyhow, so those are
There's
just
some of their interactive things that I'm hoping they're going to do with our community as well.
Yeah.
You
For
know,
sure.
that the creative things that hopefully they'll have planned that will engage our community, that will be more engaging than meetings.
So my list here is not meant to be comprehensive or anything in particular. I just wanted to, given that we're not allowed to talk about this stuff outside of meetings, I wanted to kind of go on the record as having some ideas that we can say, well, we discussed these at our recent meeting, and this gives you someplace to start.
It was great.
That all makes sense, Aaron?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think the map would be cool, and I know at one point maybe it was like the Envision Concord or something. There was like I participated in, like, there was like a thing where you could pin certain, like online there was a certain where you could pin certain areas and like write a comment about like this sidewalk was really needs help, or like different areas where you could like pin parts of the town and put comments or things like that in. And I wonder if, obviously folks don't really know the site very well, and it would be hard for them to like comment on certain things, but there may be some elements that, folks can ask questions about, or specific things, if there's like a way to like drop a pin and put in a comment or something like that about certain ideas they might have or things like that.
Yeah, I wasn't able to go to their presentation, but I'm wondering if they have some tools like that they could incorporate into whatever site they're kind of standing up.
I bet
And
they
then
do. Yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, like, I mean, I skimmed through the proposal. I didn't obviously participate in the selection, but I think it looked like there's a number of like sort of community-wide charrettes that they were doing and things like that. And obviously it would be great to have some of those pretty soon here, where we could just sort of get people together, lots of like post-it notes and things like that, and get ideas just up on the wall.
Yeah. One of the things that impressed all the selection committee members was the way they actually began to get us engaged right away. So when we sat down, there were these large placemats that were probably 24 by 20 or something. And you had to write onto them kind of, what's your superpower? What are the things you're most excited about? What are some of the things that make you anxious about, the project, et cetera? And we didn't end up having a lot of time to talk it through, but they gave us these little wooden hearts that you had to kind of drop someplace on your mat, and it was kind of just it showed some creativity and like a real interest in engaging with people, and so the committee really liked that idea, and I think these guys will be full of ideas. They were lot of energy. It was clear they had really thought hard about the project. They knew about Concord. Shannon, do you have any impressions that are worth sharing?
Just the other thing I would mention was, when we did reference checks for them, they really received glowing remarks on their community engagement and their diversity of materials that they come up with as well.
Great.
So I'm really excited to be working with them. Yeah, I guess the other thing I should mention is that they did the guys from Minuteman Media did go out and the guys Matt and Lisa went out and they shot the drone footage. So we now have the drone footage, and I'm working with them on some kind of like a voiceover script. So hopefully we'll get that at that'll be available like in the next, I don't know, week or two. We'll see.
Yeah. That would obviously be a great thing to put on the website.
Totally. The other thing that Matt is trying to track down is no one's quite sure. Like, I haven't been able to find a map of what's inside those walls. Like, it would be nice to be able to label things like, this is the mess hall. These are.
Yeah, when we went on the tour, there was like a little diagram like a little map that we were given. So I think I still have that.
You have that and could just kind of scan that or whatever.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
like literally handed to us in a paper copy. Yeah, I do.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, it's 20 different buildings. Probably can't see it. I can scan it and send it around. Or I don't know, Shannon, if you have a copy already.
Know about it. That's perfect. That'd be great. Okay. So I'm going to keep working with those guys to get that thing banged out. Be good. Next on the agenda, discuss upcoming engagement with the community and stakeholders. I think that we're about to have a whole lot of that, although nothing is scheduled. I think the period between now and the end of June, there's going to be a lot of stuff, and this is what we'll have to decide, in partnership with the folks from agency about the cadence and the type of community events that we want to hold.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should probably.
Yeah, I mean, maybe calendar. Yeah, you have that on your list, but we'll pretty quickly need to get those community events on the going.
Yeah. I wonder if we should, if they start on Monday, I wonder if we should try to have an outreach meeting with them next week.
So I don't think their contract will be executed by Monday, but I think knowing that we had an advisory board meeting on the calendar, they said they wanted to come and introduce themselves and stuff, but I would say their contract won't be executed next week.
Well,
Yeah, there was like a date. It was like February 20 something.
Yeah, I think we were targeting February 25th for a kickoff. That's what we put on the RFP, but obviously if the contract is executed sooner than that, I'm sure everyone will want to bump that up.
Right. Okay. I guess my personal hope would be that if there's any way that we could get together and at least schedule some of those public meetings.
Yeah.
The 27th, that would be great. Time really is so short.
Yeah.
Okay. Discuss preparations for consultant kickoff. I think we did that. And we can't talk until after the 27th anyway, so. All right, that's what we had in the agenda. Anything else we should be talking about? Donna, anything you've heard around town? Any feedback, chatter?
It's been quiet on this front, I think, right now, or at least that I've heard anyway.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see too how all the lead up to April 19th kind of affects the momentum of this project. It's gonna be challenging, I think. So, okay.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be awesome. Busy spring. If there's nothing else from Aaron or me or the staff, should we turn to public comment? All right. Dear public, do you have any comments?
Hi, this is Susan Malota-Zenek. Can you hear me okay?
We can, yes.
you can probably see me twice as well. Sorry about that. I've got my computer going too. I just wanted to introduce myself. I live in Concord, 392 Border Road. I'm also the chairperson of the West Concord Advisory Committee, and I wanted to make sure that our committee was on your radar as one that could interact with the consultants when the time is right. We've been doing some work to try and true up the West Concord master plan as it was written, 10 plus years ago with current conditions on the ground, and try to make ourselves ready to be, hopefully valued partners as the consultants engage with various community groups to determine what should happen at the MCI Concord property.
That is awesome. That is awesome. You guys have regular meetings?
We do have regular meetings. We just had one this past Wednesday, and we'll have another one, the first Wednesday of March, which might also be March 5th. I'm not sure.
Well, if you'd like, we could come. We do have kind of an overview presentation we've been doing for the league and for the Concord Business Partnership recently. If you'd like for us to come and do that for your group and just begin to kind of open a dialogue. I mean, I think you're obviously key stakeholders here and we'll have a lot to contribute. So if that would be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say yes to that right now. We have another guest who's going to come to our meeting who's developing what used to be the New Leaf property on the corner of, I guess it's kind of like Main Street and Com Ave in West Concord. So I'm not sure how long her presentation is going to be, but I feel like we could probably fit both things in. So why don't I confirm with you for like a particular time that you'd have on the agenda? How long do you think the presentation would last?
I think it largely depends on Q&A. So the presentation itself is probably like 20 or 25 minutes.
Okay. That is good. Okay. All right, let me just kind of like firm up with our other presenter how the sequence could go, and then I'll send you all a formal invite. And yeah, we'd love to see you at a meeting. I know our members are really eager to be part of this process in whatever way you need us to be.
That'd be great. And we are eager to connect with your members. So that'd be great. And if you could
Awesome.
send the invitation to the MCI Concord board.
Okay.
Then Shannon can share it with the other members of the advisory board, because what we found is helpful is we have some subcommittees and have the chairs of the other subcommittees can also come and kind of share, one is called land use and strategy, another is called legal and government affairs. So just to hear the stuff they're working on will also be helpful, I think.
Awesome. That sounds great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So you'll be hearing from me. I appreciate it.
Beautiful. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
John, I would also say, like, I don't know if their group is on our stakeholder list, but maybe we could add them if they're not.
Pretty sure that they are.
Yeah,
Sue,
I'd be surprised if we didn't have them, but.
Did you get an email from us about 2 months ago?
Or a letter, yeah.
Letter?
I am not entirely sure that we did, but I've been sort of following this process from afar, and I realized that there was a lot happening, and so I figured we would insert ourselves when the time was right. So yeah, I'll reach out through your email inbox that you talked about, and then we can all kind of like officially be on each other's radar.
That's great, because we're maintaining a stakeholder list, and so that is currently how we're communicating when we have outbound communications.
Okay.
Once we have our website up, we'll transfer all those addresses to a form, and that you'll be able to sign up directly. But right now, we're communicating through that to that. We have like 100 organizations who are deemed stakeholders. I'm sure you guys are there.
Okay.
We'll make sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda.
I lowered my hand because that was my question as well, whether or not they were actually on the list.
Shannon, do you have it easily accessible?
I'm trying to pull it up now. West Concord Advisory Committee is on there.
And who's the contact on it?
I'm looking at the PDF one that's online, which doesn't include the contact information. But Susan, I'll make sure that it is you.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, is there any other citizen comment? Okay. Do we have a date for our next meeting, Shannon?
I think we were trying to do the first Friday of each month, so that would bring us to March. I think with the consultants starting some point this month, like you mentioned, we might want to get something on the calendar to meet with them more quickly. So I don't know if you want to maybe consider putting one in like for the 21st or something.
Let's see here. So we're saying the soonest they would start would be February 27th, right?
Our targeted kickoff date was the 25th of February, but I mean, given that the recommendation was made, I think technically ahead of schedule, I don't know if that means maybe we can get them on a little sooner too.
What if we aimed for the 26th to the 27th? So the day after the board kickoff, and then if it turns out we can get with them earlier, we'll do something else.
Okay, that sounds good.
Lock in a date for a time for the 26th or 27th. I'm fairly open both of those days. Aaron, do you have a preference?
The 26th was the date you threw out potentially for the high school. And that's the date that I potentially have the Maynard Crossing visit.
Okay. 27th.
Hey guys, Emily just joined.
Oh, hey, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Hey.
We're just about to wrap.
Oh,
Lucky you.
good. I apologize. Did you figure everything out?
We actually assigned you all kinds of volunteer roles.
That's fantastic.
We're talking about a meeting for the next meeting of this subcommittee, which would ideally follow as soon as the consultants are ready to work with us. And the tentative date for the consultants to hold a kickoff of the advisory board is on the 25th. So I was thinking the 26th or 27th for us to be able to sit with them and go through all of our outreach plans and try to kind of create a timeline for
Okay.
outreach. So would the 27th work for you,
It works for me.
Aaron?
I'll do my best.
Noonish?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say noonish. Let's say 12 to 1.
Okay.
And we will and again, if we can,
I'll
meet
send a
with you,
calendar invite out.
that's great. Okay. Emily, I'd be happy to fill you in offline if you want to.
Thank you. Yeah. One thing I just wanted to mention, John, I'm just looking at my notes from the meeting, the Concord Business Partnership, which was great. One thing on your slide deck, it's minutia, nitpicky. You have included Patrick in the subcommittee as a subcommittee member for the community engagement.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to omit him.
That's right. He left. You're right. Yeah.
Yep. So just
Good catch. Thank you.
keeping you honest there. Yep.
Thank you.
Can I just say one quick thing, and I gotta apologize, I'm being late. When I was thinking about ears around the town, there's a lot of focus right now, just like on school committee. And I know we're gonna be incorporating hopefully school committee. They're a committee we need to engage with and consult with. I just wasn't sure, like, if we want to bring the MCI, and I can talk to Alexa about this, I know she's running, but like somehow bring the MCI, affiliation with potential school committee members to light in that process. It may be irrelevant, but maybe it's just sort of on the tertiary that we're highlighting. For instance, Alexa is interested in MCI Concord or any of the other school committee nominees, but it's just top of mind as I think people are sort of focused on school committee right now, that we might want to highlight that group will be engaged with MCI.
Mm-hmm. What we haven't done is we haven't done a presentation to the school committee. Do you want to reach out and see if that's something they would be interested in doing?
I will. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That'd be awesome. I forgot to mention that I sent an email to Elizabeth Akehurst Moore asking, who's the head of the League on Government Affairs. LNGA is responsible nominally on our stakeholder list for maintaining kind of correspondence with a number of stakeholders, and I suggested to her that they ought to reach out and offer to come brief those stakeholders, like ORS, in Concord. A number of them may want to get briefed. So Elizabeth was going to reach out to the ones that Legal and Government Affairs is tasked with liaising with.
Great.
Emily, that I want to be sure we're spreading around the fun in terms of making the presentations about what we're doing. So
Sure.
if you want to take the lead with school committee, that would be great.
Yeah, happy to.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
All
Beautiful.
right. Okay.
All right, everybody. I think that's it then. We're officially adjourned.